Eric Hammer here, registered psychotherapist. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the concept of emotional regulation. But before I continue, please hit that subscribe button below so you'll be notified about any new videos I have here on my channel. So, the reason I wanted to bring up this concept of emotional regulation is that it plays such a significant role when it comes to our relationships, our romantic relationships, our interactions with others, and also our relationship with ourselves. And this whole idea about emotional regulation is this concept around when something takes place, right? And an emotion comes up for us, right? The idea is, how can we deal with that in a healthy way to be safe both for ourselves as well as others? And so the whole concept around this is that little space between an event, the emotion that automatically comes up, and then how we deal with that emotion in the present moment. And so, for example, the idea about anger, for example, right? So if an event takes place, I have an experience, a feeling of anger, and then what do I do, right, in the moment when that anger takes place? And this is the whole idea about the ability to regulate ourselves in order to behave and to take action in a way that is appropriate and is going to be safe for ourselves as well as others. And so we actually learn this concept of emotional regulation in our childhood, right? And in how we were held in our childhood emotionally from our parents, and essentially their ability to be able to model for us how a feeling can come up, but we can be safe within that feeling without this automatic, as I said, reaction that takes place. So, for example, an unhealthy way perhaps to deal with anger, right, would be to have a temper tantrum of some type, to swear, to have sort of a really energetic, right, big response to, fight somebody physically, to do damage to property. So these ways of just, again, reacting and externalizing this feeling in a very explosive way, as opposed to this concept of, hey, you know what, if something's taking place, I feel the anger, I'm aware of it. I'm aware of this idea that, yeah, I'm having this surge of anger. I've got a personal perspective of what's occurred here. And how can I deal with this? How can I, in the moment, behave in a way that's going to be safe for both myself as well as others? And then handle and really perhaps have some compassion for this feeling that's coming up and deal with it in a safe way, right, that's not going to harm myself or others. So again, it's kind of that awareness piece around the feeling coming up, being aware of it, also perhaps knowing certain patterns where this feeling, where I'm maybe more sensitive to it, knowing our history, and then being able to ground ourselves in the moment so that we don't express this feeling that's coming up for us in an inappropriate way. Again, that's not going to be safe for us or others, right? And again, there's a real sense of groundedness, maturity within this ability to respond versus react. And again, this is what takes place, and this is what's learned when we've been held as children emotionally in these moments, that we've been able to we've had the experience of being mirrored, of having empathy for the emotions that are coming up in the moment for us. And then we've been modeled in terms of being able to handle the emotion, right, without an explosion taking place, so to speak. And again, that's the idea of the holding aspect and where this can be learned. So now, as an adult, the idea is, number one, to become, I think, aware again of what's taking place for us, and then have the ability in the moment to have self-compassion, essentially what was required as children for us, and then to be able to respond in a way that we respond in a way that's going to be safe, and then having the ability to be able to, again, in a very compassionate way, be able to deal with that emotion in a very safe manner. And again, that can look like all sorts of different ways. You know, for some it's, hey, I'm gonna talk this out in a grounded way. It could be a meditative way. It could be time alone, walk, exercise. So again, there's all sorts of different quote unquote safe ways in which to experience these emotions. And again, the idea is, I think, in this work is to be able to create options for ourselves in the present moment that's going to be safe for both ourselves and others. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you're a man struggling in his relationship, and this idea around emotional regulation, if you can relate to this, feel free to reach out. I do offer a free initial consultation to see if we'd be a good fit. And also, please check with a psychotherapist to make sure this or any other information is appropriate for you. Thanks again, and have a great day. Take care.